All right, welcome to another Tech Talk. This is Josh from KeepItTechie, and today I got another special guest in the building. He's been in the IT field for a little time or whatever, working in as a cybersecurity professional. And I really wanted to bring him on. I thought this would be a great interview to actually bring him on because he's new to the industry. And what I mean by new, I think he's still in college currently, pushing forward with a degree. And, he's just young, kind of on I guess, the ground level of people actually trying to get into this field, not too long, fresh out of high school, you know what I'm saying, and going through the full process of actually getting into the IT field. So, um, let me shout out a couple people here. What's up, American Negro? Good to see you. Gear Z Net, good to see you. As well as Lovely Angel Lady, good to see you in the building. She says, hello, Keep It Techie crew. Shout out to all you guys that came through or are coming through for this interview. I definitely appreciate it. But today's guest is Day Cyberwox. And let me know if I said it right. Wax? Okay. All right. Cool. Do you go by Cyberwox or just Day? Okay. Cool. But man, I'm happy you was able to come through, man. And you doing great things on your channel. Like I've been watching some of your content, just checking it out, just seeing what you're doing, man, and you're really helping people. I think based on the amount of information that you put out. But let me go down and let you introduce yourself and give a little bit about your background.
I am 19. I am currently a college sophomore and a security analyst. I got into cybersecurity pretty much like I'd say like maybe like 2019 when I was just like starting college, and just like when I just decided to major in cybersecurity, and over time, kind of found my path, and I've just been growing, learning, and discovering uh, my discovering myself through cybersecurity, and just exploring the field and growing, and improving myself daily, and that's what's brought me to where I'm at right now.
Okay, cool. Now let me ask you this: did you always want to get into IT or cybersecurity, like from high school or earlier on in your growth? Did you always want
Uh,
to do that?
so like back in high school, I was like a member of a cybersecurity club for a really short period of time. So a teacher wanted to kind of train some of us to like get the CCNA Cyber Ops certification well before we graduated high school, and I was part of that program, but I couldn't see the program through. So that was like kind of my first introduction to cybersecurity, and that was that was back in high school, my senior year. But I didn't spend too long at that school, so I was only there for like a couple of months, and then after that, I didn't really have that much exposure to cybersecurity. Then after that, uh, after moving to another state, I just kind of like just kept the passion for cybersecurity on, and I would like watch videos about cybersecurity, read articles and stuff like that. But the thing that really, I guess, really got me interested in cybersecurity was that program that I was part of shortly in high school.
Okay. Okay, cool. So, is that something they're offering nowadays in high school? A lot more, I guess, IT somewhat training because, and the reason I say this because my son currently, I have a young son that's going to middle school next year, but he was taking some programming classes. So I was wondering if that was, being, I guess, put in high school curriculum now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I know like for programming, like Java, C++, Python, I think those curriculums are covered in some high schools generally, but in terms of like IT, I don't really think it's been integrated into high school as much. The opportunity I had was just because that teacher actually had a passion for cybersecurity. I think she studied cybersecurity, and she wanted to. She actually on her own approach. I think she approached like a Cisco chapter for to provide us free training for the program. So I think it was like a personal initiative for her
Mm.
as compared to a school initiative. So I think but recently I think with more incentives, there have been more actions to try to include cybersecurity or IT curriculums into some high school programs. But I don't think it's been widely adopted as much as like programming.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm seeing too, because um it's almost like a heavy focus on more programming than anything else. So
Right.
yeah, I agree. Now let me ask you this. So in college, and I remember reading, I guess in your bio, you said something about uh 19-year-old cybersecurity professional or a SOC analyst. Now, what for the people that don't know what SOC is, what is SOC, and what do you actually do in that type of role?
Okay. So SOC it stands for a Security Operations Center, and a SOC essentially is like it could be a place, it could be a collection of tools that is used to like monitor client environments. So in a SOC, you're essentially monitoring the different data sources from the clients that SOCs are generally a part of like MSSPs, which are called managed security service providers. So essentially, the SOC monitors the environment for the client that the MSSP has. So you're essentially monitoring like their different data sources, firewalls, endpoints, different things like that. So as a SOC analyst, my job is to monitor, detect different forms of like attacks, intrusions, and different things like that. So that's what I do as a SOC a security analyst.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, man, that's super dope, man. And for you to be so young, working in that, that's like super cool. Now let me go back to college a little bit. Um, Now, did they have a program that you used, or how? I'm basically trying to get you to explain how did you get a internship, because I know you talk about that on your channel
Right.
as well. So if you want
Okay.
to elaborate on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I started my internship in September last year, and before getting the internship, my actual goal was to kind of get a job in IT that I could start getting experience in while in college, so that I could start building skills. Because I didn't want to leave college without having like some level of experience, at least through like an internship or like a part-time job, to kind of show that I'm really passionate about this, and I have some entry level skills that will translate after college when I want to get that full time job. So I started working on the A plus. So first time I took the A plus, I failed, and I was just totally devastated. And then second time, after the pandemic hit, I studied for it again. I passed the A plus, and at this time I was looking for like entry level like help desk positions, but at the same time I was also applying for like cybersecurity positions, network internships, cybersecurity internships, and I only had the A plus at this time, and I was studying for the network plus, but I was actively studying different things about cybersecurity, just trying to learn and really build myself. And this was just the end of freshman year of college, and I started interviewing for different positions, and that's when I realized that I was actually horrible at interviewing. And after interviewing for a couple of positions and not getting the positions, I realized that I have to like work on my interviewing skills and different things to really show the employer that I'm qualified for the position, or I can perform well when I eventually get the position. So when I did get the interview for the internship that I got, I was determined to actually kill this and to actually show my worth and show that I'm qualified for this, and I'm the best person for this position. So I really worked on building my interviewing skills, reached out to people that are in the industry for mentorship and advice on how I could show these people that this I'm the right person for this. And I was able to really prove myself for that. And eventually after interviewing, after like 2 or 3 interviews, I eventually got the position, and that's how I started my career in cybersecurity.
Yeah, and that's true, man. I'm glad you brought up the whole interview process. That's where a lot of people that I've mentored getting into the IT field, they struggle. It's that interview process and understand how to present yourself in a proper way in order show these people that you're passionate about what you're actually the job that you're going up for, and what you're and that you do have the knowledge, or at least you're going towards the knowledge that you need in order to get into this position and be successful. So I definitely appreciate you bringing that up. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
even over time with like more experience and with more knowledge, it's still like interviewing is still a I don't want to say difficult process, but it's not an easy process because like you have to like really you have to know your stuff and you have to really be able to convey it in a manner that the employer or whoever is interviewing you can see that you actually are qualified or you can do the job and they can employ you and know that you're the right person for the job. So it's never I'm still really early in the earlier stages of my career, but it's still not a easy process to go through interviews.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, you said you failed, and I kind of didn't want to go into the whole certifications yet, but you said you failed the A plus first.
Yeah.
Now, how did that make you feel? Did that discourage you, or what did you do to, I guess, remotivate yourself to actually push forward and try to take it again?
So when I failed the A plus, I was devastated. I was like, I just spent like over $200 on these exams and I studied a lot. Like I was really like I really put in like time and effort to really study for these exams, and failing them was just like really discouraging me. But I failed them I failed both of them in February of 2020, and that's like right before the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, everywhere shut down. I wasn't going to classes anymore. Everything was online. So
Mhm.
like this was so my dad, he was like, hey, this is like a period of time that you're not doing much. Like you're never gonna have this period of a time where you have so much free time, and you could actually build yourself. You can actually study for this exam again and pass. Maybe you could actually pass this time. So he encouraged me to study again, and I was like, you know what, I might as well just like dedicate all the free time I have and study again. And another thing was the first time I studied for the exam, I wasn't using the right resources, and I didn't realize that until the second time I was studying for it, and I was like, oh, I'm actually using the wrong resources. I'm not using the resources that will help me pass the exam. And when I realized that, I went out and sourced for the right resources that were going to help me pass the exam, and I passed the A plus on my second attempt, Network Plus right after that, Security Plus after that, and a couple other certifications after that.
Yeah, man, I've been seeing like when I went through all your videos, man. I seen one certification after another, pushing through them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And that's like super motivating, for people to see. So I'm glad you actually sharing that, on your YouTube channel and your other social media platforms, so people can see that, it takes the hard work and dedication, but you can do it and just keep pushing through it.
absolutely,
Now, since
absolutely.
we went to certifications, let me go down and ask you this question. It's the question that everybody asks is, because I watch a lot of tech interviews with different people, and this question is asked like so much, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Degrees, certifications, or both? What are your thoughts?
So I'll say both. I Number one, I'm a big advocate for certifications because I think they have really helped me in my career, and I continuously like try to work on certifications that I know that are going to be beneficial to me in my career. So I see certifications as opportunities to learn something that I don't know, and build off my skills and keep improving on myself. And degrees, on the other hand, I mean, over time, I think like especially in the IT cybersecurity field, I think it's easy to see how much degrees are starting to lose their value. But I think if you approach the degree the right way, then there's value in it. So like I think a lot of people approach degrees with the mindset that whatever is stable to you in your class is what you're just expected to learn, but don't really like go outside of the curriculum. And I think that's where the certifications kind of complement the degree. So like if you have like a networking class, right, that just covers the basics of networking, and this is like something you're interested in, you can go out there and study for the Network Plus or CCNA to kind of complement the knowledge that you've gained for the class, because the class might have just like touched the bare minimum. So I kind of like think both go hand in hand. And I think also like looking at degrees that have a certification based approach like a WGU's degree, are really really smart because you're getting relevant industry certifications, and at the same time you're also going to get a degree that, you know, employers are going to see that, okay, he went through the degree and he also went through the certifications that are also relevant for the position. So if I think the best approach for it is to work both of them hand in hand, and, you know, just combine knowledge from both the degree and the certifications to kind of have that, you know, good, you know, yin yang balance
Mm-hmm.
of knowledge.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. But if someone, let's say they can't afford college,
Mhm.
and because you know the certifications are kind of cheaper, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to actually get, even though there are some that are expensive, especially when you start getting into the high level security certifications. Um, they you do agree that certifications, um, I would say certifications is something they would go for until they're able to go to college, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think, I mean, I got my first full-time position without having a degree, and I think like part of what might have augmented for not having a degree was, I guess, my experience in my internship, as well as my certifications and my goals to study for more certifications. So I think, yeah, certifications could definitely take the place of a degree to an extent, because
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, if the certification shows that you have, you meet the requirements for a certain level of knowledge, or for to perform the job, then, you know, why not? If an employer sees that you are qualified through the certification, then, you know, they would absolutely, you know, employ you. But on the
Mm-hmm.
other hand, a degree could be outdated. Like, it takes universities years to update their programs. So,
Yes.
like, you know, a degree that you would get in 2020 could be something of a knowledge base of 2016. But certifications are like improved every year. Like, they have like new curriculums coming out that are always, you know, working to match the current technologies of, you know,
Yeah.
that particular time. So certification is more current, and, you know, quite frankly, like, you probably would fare better with certification. But you know, it never will still hard to get the degree. But I absolutely agree with you with the certification could definitely, especially with the cost constraint, the price
Yeah.
constraint, certification is definitely could definitely be a smarter choice.
Yeah, yeah, and just so you guys know, I'm not advocating for people to go don't go to college. I'm just stating the facts that some people just can't afford to go to college. You know, because
Right.
college is expensive, especially well, depending on, you know, what route you take and what school you actually go to, but it can be very expensive. Um, so just to throw
Absolutely.
that out there, if people need the technical knowledge, they can go to those certifications and kind of hop into those first, at least until they're able to get into college. Because it's funny you said something a little earlier on how long curriculum updates, especially, you know, in colleges.
Mhm.
I got my degree back in, what was that, 20, what was that? I'm about to forget it. 2010. I
Right.
got my bachelor's degree. That all that information that I learned is irrelevant now.
Mhm.
It prepared me for then, but yeah, over time is almost irrelevant. And the certifications, I would say, is what's keeping me afloat. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because it's more up to date, like you're saying. Exactly
Hmm.
what you're saying. You know, it's more up to date, and you know, they wouldn't even think about cloud back then. Cloud
Hmm.
wasn't even being talked about.
Right.
So yeah, they were still doing a lot of stuff on prem. But anyway, I can go on a tangent. But let me give a couple shout outs right fast before we move on. Good to see you. Big discussion. 76 Science and Technology. Good to see you, man. I definitely appreciate you coming through. Ruel, El Mio, what's up, man? How you doing? Maddox, good to see you, man. It's always good to see you in the building. And my man, True Teller 410, good to see you, man. I definitely appreciate the super chat. And lovely Angel Lady, yeah, please share if you can. Share the video to anybody in the chat that want to share it out. Uh, you know, it'll help the channel grow. I'm just trying to get, you know, more people interested in the tech field, and, you know, all that good stuff. But Appreciate it. And then also, engineering cannabis. Good to see you. There's one path that people ignore, and it's free self study data science AI. You can self study. Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Good stuff, man. But um, so the next thing I wanted to ask you, um, if no, I already went through that. Because you kind of explain. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. How do you study? Like, do you have any recommendations on how people can, I guess, study and maintain their current skills as well as learn new skills? Like, are there resources that you want to, I guess, expand upon or talk about to help people?
Yeah, definitely. So, I think like depending on what your goals are, like I'm kind of person that I like to plan a lot. So I like to like draw out plans for things that I want to work on and things I want to achieve. So depends. So first of all, you have to like decide on what do I want, like what am I studying for, right? So what is my end goal with this study? Because you can't like for example, if you're planning to take like a couple of certifications, you just can't like pick random certifications for random reasons. You have to like,
Yeah.
okay, make the decision that I want to become, say, a security analyst, right? And to become a security analyst, I need to understand the fundamentals, right? Okay, so that's the first stage, right? So to understand the fundamentals, I need to understand the basics of IT, networking, and basic security concepts. So draw out a plan to maybe study for the A plus, Network plus, Security plus, which I recommend for the basics. So start learning all of those things, and then you eventually get to a point where, okay, I have this level of theoretical knowledge, and I need to keep my skills going. I need to continue like improving myself before maybe embarking on a new certification. So with like for cybersecurity, there's so many resources that you can use to keep building your skills, to learn new skills, and to just like keep yourself in that loop of continuously learning like different ranges from like try hack me, hack the box, range force, let's defend. Depending on whatever it is that you're trying to learn, there's several resources that you can use to keep building your skills and keep exercising yourself. So personally, I like to draw out plans, and I like to make priorities for things I want to learn at a certain point in my life or a certain point in my career. So based off where I'm at, I make decisions to learn something new. Maybe I find myself in a new position, and it's imperative that I learn this certain skill. I work in that, and I also have plans for my own career trajectory. So say, for example, I want to eventually specialize in like cloud security, right? My goal will be to get some cloud security certifications from Azure, AWS, or maybe Google Cloud. So it's imperative to, based off of like different scenarios, draw out a plan, and then create a syllabus for yourself. Like design a syllabus that, okay, every week I want to cover 2 chapters in in this study resource, or in this book, or in this Udemy course, or this YouTube playlist. And every month I want to cover this amount of information, so that I can eventually, in 3 months time, I want to be able to get my A plus. I want to be able to get my in 3 months time, I want to get my security plus. So I think planning is really, really important, and it really helps you set out a distinct a layout for how you want to get to the eventual end goal.
Yeah, and hey, I 100% agree with you, man. You on point with that, bro. Planning is very important. You got to plan things out, man. I can't say it any better, man. Yeah, that's definitely on point, bro. Cause you gotta figure out where you're trying to go and then plan it out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And once you plan it out, that'll keep you on track. That'll keep your mindset on track on what you're trying to actually accomplish. So
Absolutely.
definitely
Yeah.
planning. Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something else?
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's just like reverse engineering, like the process to from backwards, from
Yeah.
the end goal to where you are, where you're at, right? So say your end goal is to eventually become a security engineer. So what do I need to become a security engineer? I need to understand the basics of IT, the basics of networking, operating systems, security analysis, Linux, cloud, this and that. So like you kind of like reverse engineer the plan from the from security engineer, which is at the end of the goal, and then backtrack with like different milestones and different goals that come back to where you are currently at, and then start working on the process to that journey to eventually becoming a security engineer or whatever you want to become.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you definitely on point, man. I definitely, I definitely agree, man. But let me give a couple shout outs again. Um, Gary Bay, salute to you, man. Thanks for coming by or whatever. Uh, Let me see. Rael, he said, "What is your thoughts?" And I'm gonna ask the questions at the end. So, um, I'm gonna definitely ask you a question, Raul. Uh, I appreciate that. But that's somebody you probably need to talk to, Gabe A, man. He kind of went down the same path as you based on the information he's put out there. He went to college for engineering and got an internship. So that's super cool. And if you guys don't know, I'm talking to Day Cyberwox. He's a cybersecurity professional, young in the game. Uh, are you 19? You still 19?
Yeah, I literally just
Okay,
turned 19.
okay, 19. Because I know some people don't update their stuff on Twitter, as
Mhm.
often. But so I didn't know if you had turned 20 yet. But 19
Nah,
years
still
old.
next year.
Yeah, 19 years old, working as a cybersecurity professional. So super dope to have him here. I definitely, appreciate everybody coming through. But so the next thing I wanted to ask you was, um, I talk about Linux on my channel. That's all I talk about. How important is knowing Linux as a cybersecurity professional?
I think it's really important to have a good understanding of Linux as a cybersecurity professional, regardless of whatever you're doing. I actually made it a point of duty to actually learn Linux this year. Like literally from the first day of this year, my goal was like I have to become better at Linux, and this is because like several of the tools and several of the systems you might be administering are going to be Linux devices. So like there's a lot of Windows endpoints and different things like that, but like
Mm-hmm.
the tools, servers, different things like that are going to be Linux. So you have to understand how the Linux system works for you to be able to understand how to protect it. And at the same time, a lot of the tools that we use in cybersecurity are Linux based. So having a good understanding of Linux is going to be really, really beneficial to you as a cybersecurity professional.
Yeah, and that's another reason I try to bring on cybersecurity professionals because I know, one of the heaviest or one of the most used um, distributions for cybersecurity is Kali Linux, and I
Mhm.
know if you don't understand how to actually which it's it's becoming a lot more user friendly as far as Kali Linux goes, but you have to have some understanding of how Linux works in order to use some of the tools as well as the command line, because a lot of the tools actually run from the command line,
Right.
which is why they run a whole lot faster. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So definitely, definitely agree with you. Linux is something you know that needs to be talked about and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, let me get into this because I know you're cybersecurity, and I know one of y'all jobs is to analyze malware and attacks and try to figure out, what's going on and why did this attack happen. Now, do you understand any programming languages, and which ones do you recommend people learn in this sector?
Okay, so I did take a C++ class last semester, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like it, but I do have a basic level of understanding of C++. I'm currently working on learning Python because Python is really really important in cybersecurity. And I think for so like you don't necessarily need to know how to program in cybersecurity, but it's
Mm-hmm.
if you want to like distinguish yourself from other people and you want to take your career to the next level, having an understanding of programming, at least a scripting language like Python or like Bash will be really beneficial to you because like you can automate like redundant tasks and you can actually use the time that you've saved from automation to work on more important things. And having an understanding of code and how to read code is going to also be important to you because you might find yourself in a scenario where you have to do something that regards to that. And if you understand it, the better for you. So Python is usually the most like widely used programming language, I guess, in cybersecurity. But for like more in-depth stuff, like I guess like penetration testing, exploits, all that stuff, they usually recommend like C++, C Sharp, and I think JavaScript as well, or Java.
Yeah, and um, so you keep touching on the next topic, boy. I'll tell you. So I was gonna actually ask you automation because you brought up automation, man, and that's something I wanted to get into with you as well. Like how since you're kind of new in the game or whatever, um, how is automation affecting your job, on a day-to-day basis? Is it something that you guys are constantly developing a way to automate certain things, or is this something, um I don't know, that's kind of what I'm asking. I
Yeah,
hope that makes
so I
sense.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. So I personally don't work with any form of automation. Most of like automation, I believe, is done by the engineering team, but
Mm,
I do know that some so like there in security analysis, like there isn't much you can actually automate, right? You cannot automate your analysis process, right? You can't automate, your parsing through logs and things like that. But you can automate like some redundant tasks that you do on a day-to-day, like as a security analyst, and just being able to like have those tasks run in the background or at a whim. It's going to help you actually focus on more important things that you could focus on. But I think personally, as I go further in my career, having a good understanding of automation is going to be important for me, because I will find myself in more advanced scenarios, and being able to quickly whip up a script that can help me automate a task would be really important. So it's definitely something that is with me learning Python. I think it's something that's going to help me with in the long run.
okay. Now, in your position, do you have to know any PowerShell or Bash scripting? Have you got into any of that? And if so, how much? Um,
So in my current position, I don't really require any much like programming or anything like that. But I actually took it upon myself early this year. Like I said, my goal was like one of my goals was to actually become better at Linux. So I took this course that taught me about different things about Linux, including Bash scripting. So I do know a little bit about Bash scripting. I can do a little script that could do a little something something.
okay, yeah, and I agree. And that was one thing I wanted to say earlier when you brought up, understanding it or adding it as something in your tool belt that can, make you stand out and everything. I always recommend, you get as much knowledge as possible, or at least familiarize yourself with different areas, even if you don't use it in your day-to-day tasks or in your job, because it makes you a more well-rounded professional. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I agree, man. Um, Now, cloud. You brought up cloud as well.
Mhm.
So how important is the cloud, somewhat, or understanding the cloud in your positions?
I think it's very important. I think now with like a lot of companies having kind of hybrid or fully integrated cloud environments, you are as a security professional, either at a SOC or at a in-house security situation, you will have to deal with cloud environments. So like from my internship, I was already working with like cloud. So like I was working in the cloud environment. I was monitoring like different endpoints with our cloud environment, and having an understanding of how this cloud environment worked was really important for me. I actually recently got my Azure Fundamentals certification, and with I'm actually starting my program with WGU in a couple of months. So I will be taking the some AWS certification. So cloud is actually something that is important to me, but it's also important to my position as well, because some of the clients we monitor have like cloud environments. So having an understanding of these cloud environments, and you might see an alert that has to do with like a cloud instance or a cloud appliance, and if you don't know what that cloud appliance is, or you don't understand what is going on with that cloud appliance that is generating that alert or that log, you're not going to be able to properly analyze that. So having that understanding is going to be important for you. That is, as you know, as secure as a SOC analyst. For example, if you're in an in-house situation where you're in-house security analyst, and let's say you have a Azure environment or an AWS environment, you have to understand how to properly secure that environment. So I think, there's no way you look at it, but cloud is, definitely important right now as, a security professional. So you should at least have an understanding of Azure, the basics, and AWS, the basics as well.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you. Cloud is the somewhat or it's mostly the well, it is the future. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be where a lot of companies are gonna start transition or fully transitioning everything up there, because I know it's a lot of companies that still out there have stuff on prem, especially the
Hmm.
government. You know what I'm saying? They have a
Yeah.
lot of servers or systems on prem, still on prem, but it is gonna be a big transition pretty soon, where a
Hmm.
lot of things are gonna be in the cloud, and so understanding is very important in order to
Absolutely.
be successful. Yeah. um Now, let me see. It was something I wanted to touch on as well. Oh, what was it? Um, it was something dealing with cybersecurity. That I wanted to ask you. Oh, um, Stigs. Do you know anything about Stigs? And have you had to, I guess, do Stigs? Because I know very little. I've actually been involved with certain ones because I'm a database administrator. And so I've had to actually go through the Stig process to just verify that systems are up to standards that are put out by the security team. So
Hmm.
is that something that you work with as well? Um,
No,
no.
I've not worked with it.
Okay. 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 Cool. Yeah, it's no problem. It's it's something a little bit more, I guess, specialized or different. I
Yeah.
know. Uh. Professor Black Ops talks about it a lot. I think he does that. So
Yeah, I think
I
that might
figured.
be more with like government organizations or DoD contractors and
Yeah.
people like that.
Yeah. 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 I didn't know if there was like a standard outside on like civilian side that where they kind of
Oh yeah.
follow the same or have to follow the same guidelines. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, there are different standards and frameworks for like civilian, I guess, type companies. There's like the NIST framework that a lot of companies use, I guess, to a lot of companies and professionals, I guess, use to kind of base some baseline security configurations and acceptable practices and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
there
Yeah.
are some other standards on this side as well.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I got you. Um, I just kind of wanted to bring that up. Professor Blackops, he just showed up in the chat. Shout out to you, man. He always talks about Stigs um and just those standards that you have to put in place for particular systems. They, you know, do yearly testing of the system just to verify that you have all the configurations right. So,
Right.
um, but anyway, so now I want to go down and get to the that was kind of like my last question. Oh, but also, yeah, let me get to this. I always forget to do this. Well, not all the time, but I forgot this time. I try to always shout out your channel and at least show it. So right now that's your Twitter, but if you guys are not subscribed, today I have, Dave Cyberwox. This is his YouTube channel, where he basically goes through his journey of becoming a security professional. Um, and so he goes through, talks about different certifications that he's taking, and all that good stuff. And if there's anything you want to add, go ahead, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I use my Day Cyberworks handle on Twitter,
What is
Instagram,
up?
and also on my channel. I also have a Discord server with like different cybersecurity students. The link is in my in any video on my website on my channel. So my Discord server essentially, like, the goal is really to like foster like networking, collaboration, and just really help cybersecurity students from all over, from whatever level to kind of share their knowledge and help themselves out, help each other out, and really grow and build skills and different things like that. I also have a website, cyberworksacademy.com, where I share different projects that I'm working on, and different different certifications I'm working on and things like that. So yeah, those are everything. Those are the things that you can find about me.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, yeah. Check out his channel, man. I really enjoy his channel. Yeah, I recommend you guys subscribe to it. I'll put the link down in the description of the video. Um, just give me 1 second. Uh, and shout out to the super chats. I definitely appreciate it. Big discussion, 76 science and technology. I appreciate it. And John Guillory, I definitely appreciate it, man. This is something that I try to do all the time by bringing on different professionals in the field, or at least getting in the field. Either way, you know what I'm saying. And try to put them out there and give them some shine, and just show that it's other people in the field actually doing it, and being successful, and you can too. For anybody that's watching it that's not in the field, you can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So it was a question that I seen earlier, so let me go on and get to that right fast. Rule said, what is your thoughts if someone has already has 5 years or more experience in IT support, help desk support? Will it be worthy to take the A plus? Um, I'll answer that, and then you can get some feedback on that, because he kind of has a lot of experience. Well, a lot of experience working as at the help desk. I would recommend you skip a plus, and just go to Network Plus or Server Plus. Go on and take those higher certifications, because you already have kind of like a base understanding. If you're doing help desk work, or desktop support, and you have a lot of the skills that you'll be taught by going through and studying for the A plus exam. Now, it may be a few things that you may want to, I guess, brush up on the course if you want to. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of free training. Oh, Professor Messer, he has a whole A plus training course, as well as Tech G. He has a full video A plus course where it goes through everything for the A plus. And that's a way of actually just going through the training and get the knowledge if you need to, without actually taking the certification, because he goes through everything. And then hop into a higher cert like Network Plus, Security Plus, and it all depends on where you're trying to go from there. So I appreciate the question, but if you want to add, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. I think like with 5 years of experience in help desk or IT, I think the A plus is worth skipping, and definitely you move into something like the Network Plus or even the CCNA would be really valuable to you, because I think the CCNA is a really good like bridge between networking and like security. So like with the baseline knowledge of, you can pivot into networking with CCNA. You could also pivot into security with the CCNA and like the security plus. So yeah, definitely skipping over the A plus is it's, yeah, totally do that, and look at more, and based off of what you eventually want to do, right? Maybe you want to go into security, or you want to go into network engineering, or you want to go into whatever it is, like just try to find relevant certifications that align with the path that take you to where you eventually want to be, in terms of like the next stage of a career.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I agree, man. And shout out to Kev Tech in the building. Good to see you, man. I definitely appreciate it. He says, much love and respect. Good to see you here today.
I appreciate
Cyberwox.
that, man.
Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Um, and shout out to everybody that came to, hang out with us, man. Like I said, I definitely appreciate it, man. And you gave out a lot of great information, you know what I'm saying? Um, and definitely check out Dave's channel. Was there anything else you wanted to add? Because I kind of finished out on the questions. I don't see any other questions in the chat, but was there anything else you want to add? I know you kind of talked about your Discord, everything, and go ahead. I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, no problem, man. I mean, like, I think It's like cybersecurity. I'm really passionate about cybersecurity, and I think there's room for anyone who wants to get into cybersecurity to get into cybersecurity. All you just need is hard work, consistency, persistence, and just continuously believe in yourself that you can do this, and also surrounding yourself with a community of people that are like minded and can guide you to the right. To where you eventually want to be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's like my word of motivation to everyone out there. And yeah, definitely follow me on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube, join my Discord server. Let's have fun conversations, share your knowledge, and I share my knowledge, and we can bounce ideas here and there. So yeah, and also check out my website as well. So that's all I have.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, and don't and I hope you guys don't think I'm not subscribed to him. Right now I'm logged into well, not even logged into it. This is my my Chrome browser that I only use for the video. So I am subscribed today. So I recommend you guys subscribe to him as well. Like I said, he puts out a lot of great information, and it's good to have other people doing things and putting sharing their knowledge and their experiences getting into this field. Because like you said, it's I'm passionate about it as well. I'm passionate about Linux, and it's all these different areas that people can get into and get passionate about, something in IT, and try to get into those type of fields. So, and it's good to put that information out there, no matter how big the area of what you're doing is. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just put that information out there. But appreciate it again, Dave. Stay on. I'm gonna go down and stop the stream. But I appreciate all you guys for coming through. I have a really big guest that'll be coming through in about 2 weeks or so. We'll see what happens with that. But um, he is a what systems architect. But anyway, I'm bringing him on. I'm not gonna say the name. I'm gonna try to until I get everything lined up. But I appreciate it again, Dave, man. Stay on after this though.
All right.
But let me go down and run the outro. Good to see you guys. And y'all have a good day.